evening. How's everyone doing? It's been a minute.
I
Hello,
hope everybody
Nicole.
had a happy Easter.
Hello, Carrie. Hello, Anna. How's everybody? Roseanne, Robin, Thomas. How's everybody doing? Karen, Kay, John
Hey,
McGinnis.
McGinnis.
What's up? Dominique,
Hey, Dominique.
Kathy. How's everyone doing? Happy belated Easter to everyone who was celebrating. Yeah, we've been on a minute. It's been a little while. I know.
We've been busy people.
But we've been busy. We've still been busy. We were investigating a place on Saturday night that was eventful. Lots of supposed to be a small investigation turned into a bigger investigation, and that's a story for another day. But cool place, lots of activity,
Thank you,
and
Teresa.
hopefully we'll be there soon. Hopefully doing an event, or two. Speaking, who's it? Luann, how you doing? Susan? Speaking of events, before we get started, we actually had two people that were supposed to join us tonight for the stories or the experiences that we were gonna talk about tonight. One person couldn't be with us because they were having some technical issues, but we still have someone hopefully in the wings soon. Hello, Michael. How are you? So we'll talk to them for a little while, and we'll talk about a bunch of other stuff. I did make the announcement for Centenary College University. I keep calling it college university in Hackettstown. Thanks to you guys, I mean that thing sold like
Hotcakes.
man. Oh man, it was May was gone really quickly. June has had 2 tickets left. There was actually one, but I told her, hey, Amy, I told her to open it up to two so that because people like, come in pairs and in groups or whatever. And then there was only 6 left for September. So, hey, Christopher. So they went quick. And we still have another October one there that we're kind of holding on to because there's more going on with that event that we're not announcing yet. And there's more events between now and then. So, yeah, Centenary College University. Sorry. I saw the Weird New Jersey article. That's why I posted it. We don't really talk a lot about the Tilly part of it. But yeah, you could read that article and see for yourself. But a lot of people have experienced stuff there. Even when I posted the advertisement on Instagram and Facebook and other places, there were people that either are in school there now or have gone to school there that said that they had heard or they had seen a lot of stuff there, which is really cool. So you guys are gonna have a chance to check it out. Last I heard, 2 tickets left for June 24th and only 6 left for September 2nd. So check it out for yourself. Now's your opportunity. Who knows if they're gonna do this again next year? But for this year, yeah, we've got 4 events that we're doing there. Good evening, Donna. How are you?
Hi, Nancy.
So I'm going to put my headphones on here and we're going to bring up our first guest who
Somebody said I'm retiring in October 1st, so I can do that one.
So I'm going to bring our first guest up here, and Terri has been, I've told her she could come on a few times and talk about her experiences, and we always seem to sync up for whatever reason, or we got to talking about a lot of other stuff. And so Terri's going to come on first. Terri was supposed to be one of 2, but like I said, the other person was having some issues syncing up to StreamYard. So hopefully Terri can occupy us for an hour. We're going to let Terri just talk for an hour. And,
no pressure, Terri.
Yeah, hopefully she has a really interesting story that could take us the whole hour. So let me get Terri on here. There she is.
Hi.
Hey.
Hold on. Let me change the settings here, the layout. I don't particularly like that one. There you are.
Hi there.
Finally, right?
John and Chris.
How are you?
Great to see you.
Great to see you. I'm sorry about putting you off so much. It wasn't really planned.
No.
It just kind of happened.
No. No, life happens, and I was hoping to be on here before, but it it just didn't. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
And tonight almost didn't happen because I had to have my son set this up, and everything went out. And just like, maybe 5 minutes before, everything came up. So he's standing there and he's like, yeah.
we were literally on the phone with the other person 10 minutes before we were on trying to get them on up. And there goes Terry.
She'll be back.
There you are.
There she
Oh,
is.
whoo, you scared me.
I'm telling you, it's just been, this is what happens. And
It's Murphy's Law.
I'm sorry. So yeah, it's so good to see you guys again. I haven't seen you since like July.
Really? That long?
And we'll see you again in November.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You came to the last expo.
Yeah, I was the one that tried to walk out with a head. One of those. Yeah,
One of the
You were
people
like,
stopped
"You
you.
can't have those."
What are you talking about? At the
At the VIP
party? Oh.
Yeah. So I stopped her at the door.
Oh, well. Now we know we need to stop and frisk Terry if she comes to the next one.
We had such a great time. In fact, Chris, my daughter, was the one with Rachel that was trying to get a picture with the oh God, what was it? The you had this like a oh God, what did you call it? The serial killer, I think it was.
Yeah.
She thought there was a bench and she went to sit down and she
And
rolled
she
out.
fell.
That it looked more like an S&M room than it did a serial killer room, but that's just me.
It was great.
I'm sure people are wondering what the heck we had going on in that tent, but
Yeah, John McGinnis goes, I remember her now. Yeah, she hit the floor hard, the
Yeah.
poor girl.
We had such a great time. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
well, thank you for coming. So let's get into this, Terry. Take us back to the beginning.
Gosh. Okay. I think we started having difficulty in probably maybe 2009.
And you're from where?
I'm sorry.
What are you in Jersey?
No, I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah. It just started when the four of us, it was myself, my husband, and my son and daughter, we were all living here. We just began, there was just something wrong, and we kept saying, are you seeing anything? And everyone was like, yeah, nobody wanted to admit it. So we sat down at the dinner table one night and we said, we're all going to write down on a piece of paper what we've seen. We're going to put it down and everybody's going to flip it over. And each one of us wrote the same thing. We saw a white young man with red hair and a white t-shirt. And all we saw was his upper torso.
Whoa.
And it was always just like kind of around the corner of the home. And that's, I think, when everything started. Beyond that,
Well, can I? How long were you living there prior to seeing?
we have been here since 1991. And so that started like it had to be 2009 is what I'm thinking.
Wow, what a
2008,
bizarre
2009.
thing after all those years to have.
After all that, we had
Okay.
no problem.
Huh.
Don't even know, what happened.
Wow.
So that's when that started. And the thing of it is, it's not like I could have anybody in here and say, hey, investigate this place, because I doubt that it would happen.
Right.
It's not something that you experience all the time. But it's very scary when it does happen.
Did you all see that same person in the same area, or was it throughout the entire house?
Yep, we all saw it in the same area.
Really?
But why
Huh.
scary? Why was it scary?
I think it was just scary because you never knew when you were going to see it.
Yeah, that's kind of, I would,
You would, I'd walk out of the kitchen and then out of the hallway, it would be peering out at you. But
Watching you. So it's not like you just like discovered it there. It's actually watching you.
no, but it was at that point, it was like a human being. It was like a human face.
okay.
Ooh.
Wow, that's
So-
freaky.
And we didn't know who it was. That's hard. Then after that, and it was a while after that, which is where I think everything really started to get worse, was my daughter and I, I'm sorry, I need some water.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
So my daughter and I, we were, and I think there were dynamics going on in the house at the time. Just, personally,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feeds it kind of, right?
Right. So we were sitting in the car and we were talking. We heard the windows were down. It was summertime and we heard boots coming up behind us in the driveway. So we were like, oh my God, there's somebody coming up. So we ducked down and there was nobody there. So this is the weirdest thing. So we got back up, we looked around, there's nobody there. And when we looked in the backyard, you can't make this shut up. I mean, we were looking at the same spot and we saw this this humanoid figure. And it was, how the TV used to go, staticky
Yeah.
at night when that's what it looked like. It was walking and it beyond our trees and it was like 4 seconds, but we both saw it.
Wow.
So we decided we're going to back up and we're just going to drive for a while. So we did.
Well, the
And-
figure though, there wasn't any definition to it. Was it shadowy or was it?
Yes, we could see the whole, the whole body, head, body,
Red
everything.
hair, same person?
It was not a human.
Whoa.
That's the thing. It was humanoid, but it was not human.
Wow.
It was there and then it just disappeared. It was like it was walking for 3 seconds and then it disappeared.
Oh my God.
So we started the car, we backed it up, we got out of the driveway, we started driving and we got maybe a half a mile down the road out of our neighborhood and we heard a voice in the back seat.
Oh my God.
And we both looked at each other and we were like, that wasn't you, no. So we were like, no, we're going back home. This is just too freaky. We drove back home, came in, and we were like frantic. We ran in the house and we were like, oh my God, we told my husband, what happened. And he was like, yeah, right. He didn't buy into it until he heard the tapping on the window.
Now,
It would have
did he ever see the red-haired guy with everybody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But he didn't believe what we went through at that point.
Right.
And so it was a tapping on the sliding glass door. And we couldn't tell whether it was coming from inside or outside. And that's when things really, really, I think, began to.
Really? So it got worse and worse within the house.
It did. It
Oh my
did.
God.
But
Terri.
you never, and I think honestly, I think it affected my daughter more than
course.
anybody.
And how old was she
traumatic.
at around that time when it started getting bad?
She was in her late 20s.
Okay.
she started having sleep paralysis, and she would hear, there was this humming. In fact, she insisted on a fan. After all of this, she needed some ambient noise
Yep.
in the bedroom to help her.
My daughter did the same thing. She had to have the fan on, even if it was winter.
Right. Exactly. She has it on all the time, because she knows if she hears the fan, she's fine, but she's in it.
It's a comfort to keep you from focusing on
Yeah.
anything else that's going around you.
Right. Which is so frightening to me. But
So you said progressively worse from the tapping. What were sort of some of the things that kind of started to get a little and then got a lot?
okay. We actually saw I can't even describe it to you. It was the most hideous thing ever. We were both sitting there in the living room, and we turned around, and on the ottoman, and the room was pitch black. There was an ambient light from out front on, and on the ottoman, there was this just insidious figure kneeling on the ottoman, staring at us with just the most disgusting face you would ever see. I've never seen anything like it before in my life, and I can't even describe it to you.
This was at night, correct?
It was at night. It was
Now who was in the house? Was it just you and your daughter, or was
no, it was just myself and my daughter and the dog. And the thing of it was, the dogs did not react to it, which is really strange.
Yeah, it is strange.
We have 2 beagles, and we'll get to that later. My younger beagle now, she's only 15 months, but she has started reacting to everything in this house. And it's really sad. She's, I don't think she's feeling well.
Yeah.
And she's got an appointment for the vet for Wednesday because she's not doing well. So,
I hope she's okay. I really do.
yeah, no, I do as well. But I feel like I lost my 12-year-old beagle because of what was going on in here. She just got worse and worse and worse, and I lost her.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to ask you something, Terri. And again, you don't have to say details or anything, but do you think that something happened with the family dynamics or in the household that created this? What's the synergy of this stuff that's happening?
I don't think so. People have asked that, and there isn't.
They just all of a sudden just
one day. Yeah.
It just, honestly, I swear to God, it just started. And this was something that we would have laughed at.
Yeah. Nobody can understand it unless they've gone through it. That
right.
I do understand. Nobody can possibly.
So how did that situation end? That you were just, did it vanish? Did it say anything? Did it move anything? It was just there and then gone.
Well, funny you say that. So now we're okay. Well, and I'm moving way ahead of myself, but
okay. No, take your time.
And I'm making myself bleed. I'm sitting here scratching. So my husband and I, we've decided we're just going to get rid of this stuff, and we're leaving this house. Because of what happened the last time when I went into the hospital. It was just one night where my daughter and we were talking in the kitchen. I think I mentioned this to you. I think it was March 4th. And I have no idea. All I know is my daughter and we were talking about something, and the next thing I know, I woke up in the emergency room,
What?
and my daughter and my husband said they thought I was having a stroke. I was standing there, and look, oh my God, I'm bleeding. Um, they said my hands were like my fingers like were out in such a way, and the paramedics came and they took me, and um sorry, the doctor couldn't figure out any reason for it. They um did a MRI, CAT scan, couldn't find it. They And after a while they said I sat up bolt right in the bed for no reason and then went back down.
Wow. So
uh,
no blood, what, no blood workup or anything, nothing
Everything was fine.
chemical or, oh, wow.
Everything was fine. um So look at this. I'm bleeding. I am just sitting
Yeah.
here.
I mean, I just want people to, because people are listening and they're commenting. Terry and I have gone back and forth a little bit here and there, and she was relaying some of this information to me in messages. And if at any time, Terry, you feel uncomfortable and you just want to punch out, and feel free to do that. We're not going to hold
But
it
the
against you.
but the one thing that I want
I
you
just
to,
want her to be comfortable because people are commenting and
yeah. But the
and-
fact that you're bleeding and and it's your nerves, right?
Yeah.
You're digging at your skin because of it's
I
hard. People
probably-
don't realize it when you're in this.
right.
The anxiety of what you're dealing
It's
with,
PTSD, yeah,
and
I mean,
she's
it's-
still living it
Yeah.
because she's still there.
Yeah.
So that talking about it makes it real. It's one thing when it's just your small little circle, but when you start to expand and you put it out there, it does make it real, and it's scary. So you need to take a nice deep breath and just kind of like just take a minute. You've got control. Nothing else but you has control.
Right. Yeah, so we got rid of a lot of furniture today that, we thought that might have been contributing to it. And we're just going to try and leave. But the weird part about when I was in the hospital, my daughter said that the nurse that was treating me lives down the road. She's in the same neighborhood, but there's a gateway that divides us. She's in the next court. And she said my mom has experienced things
Oh.
in her home as well. So she goes, I believe you. She goes, I believe your I believe what's going on.
So you think it's something in that area?
I don't think it's a house. I think it has to be something else.
Oh, wow.
And
So you think it's something that has to do with the family?
I don't,
Especially the women of the family, it seems like.
or it could be the property. It could be the
Right.
land.
That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. But then again, you had that period of
Or what about in the car?
how many years where there was nothing at
Where
all
there was
going
nothing.
on?
I can't that's
Something triggered.
Yeah, there was a
something
catalyst.
triggered it.
Yeah,
And it
that-
doesn't mean that any of you
No,
guys
no,
did
not
it.
that. I'm not saying no.
Yeah,
not
but
at all.
something triggered that happening. Well, I mean, and
Was there any construction nearby or anything that you recall back around the time?
No. No.
That's so strange.
I'm listening to you and the way you're talking and just watching you visibly dealing with this, it reminds me of how I dealt with it and being afraid to talk about it because it made it too real. But and I know this is going to sound strange, but I'm just going to put it out there. What if it turns out that this is something, because you said your mom had things in her house?
My mom had things in her house.
Who was it that had it? Was it just you guys in this house, or people
No, it was just-
experience it? It's just you and
Right, it's just me. I don't, and I wonder, and my daughter has actually said, because I collect antiques,
Oh boy.
and she's like, Mom, could it have been something?
How
that
long
you
have you
got.
been doing that?
I've only, I have, gosh, not very long. I've got one trunk, which my daughter hates, and I think she thinks that that might be it.
So was this prior to, were you collecting prior to things happening or along the time
You know
from,
what?
you don't remember?
I
You don't
couldn't tell
remember?
you. I couldn't tell you if I got those things before. I think I got them before, actually. This
Yeah,
started
you might have brought something in. Are you religious? Are you a religious person? Do you? Yeah, I'm
no,
the same way. I'm the same way. So for
no,
me to have a priest come in and bless everything,
no.
would it hurt? I don't know if it would hurt. Would it help? I don't know if it would help either. But
Yeah,
see, we have people that we know and trust here, where we are in Jersey, but where you are, I don't know anybody. And I know even John Zaffis, he's in Connecticut, and I don't think he would go to Maryland, but I could talk to him.
Yeah,
I really could talk to him.
Dominic brings up a really good point. Is there any piece that you've collected that you're obsessed with or very strongly drawn towards? Nothing.
no, no.
Hmm.
I got the trunk. I liked it. There was a little barrel thing. It was a wooden barrel that was old timey that we used for an umbrella kind of thing at the doorway. Not.
What if it's not even the item? What if it's just bringing in the item triggered what was dormant there?
I talk all the time about mixing energies, and sometimes, you create the perfect storm without meaning to by, bringing something in that the energy that was there, like she said, it triggers.
Reacted to
That's
what you
that's
brought
what we
in.
always tell people about. But they've been there a long time,
I
so
know.
it's not them moving in. It's something happened either in the area or in the home. Now you mentioned your son helped you with the live stream,
Right.
and you mentioned your husband. Have they've seen, but have they experienced any of the traumatic things that you and your daughter have?
Yes.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
that's different too. That's kind of, again,
Right.
against the grain, as far as I thought maybe the females were kind of
No,
drawing
no,
something.
it sounds like it started that way and then it just expanded as it got more until.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good question. How old is the house itself?
The house is 32 years old.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. And people tell me that all the time. My house is fairly new. How could it
It
be quote
is.
unquote haunted? But the land, that's what we always talk about. What
Right.
was on the land. But again, you were there for so long without
Right.
any
Before.
incidents. And then, like, see, I go back to maybe the antique part of it because that's the only kind of new and different thing. I don't know what happened in the neighborhood, if anything happened, but
No.
I'm afraid you brought some energy in without meaning to.
Right.
And now you're kind of dealing with that. And that's where,
Right.
if you knew what it was, you said you're getting rid of furniture. If you knew what it was, you definitely get rid of that object and I would have a medium come through there. I would have a priest come through. I would try different levels of
Yeah, and
things
just
to
not
try
anybody. Somebody
Yeah,
that
I mean, of
you
course,
really,
not
really
any medium
trust
off
in.
the,
Because you'll open up a worse problem for yourself if you just bring in anyone that just hung out their shingle.
Have you ever thought of, again, I don't know your financial situation. Have you ever thought of moving?
That's what she said. They're moving
We
stuff
are.
out, right?
Is that what your plan is, to just
Yeah.
move now?
Yes.
I think that would probably be the best thing, because
And-
I knew people that were dealing with stuff on the level, not quite as severe as what you're dealing with. And we tried, and others tried, who were way more experienced in in the field and religious figureheads and everything, and it just could not rid the building of that thing that was there. And eventually, like John Zaffis said with Deanna Simpson, eventually it does get to the point where you're just like, get out.
Yeah.
I mean,
And she moved, and the people who live there now don't have the same.
exactly.
The energy changed, so it
There-
stopped.
And she didn't bring it with her either, thank God.
I'm hoping that when we got rid of my daughter's furniture, because that was where she had the sleep paralysis, and she said, I don't want anything to do. She can't sleep in there. She sleeps downstairs on an air mattress. she can't go in it.
That's so sad. And again, it's horrible that you have to even consider, but you've been dealing with this for a long time. And again, what I would do for my own well-being, again, I'm not a big believer in a lot of things when it comes to the paranormal as far as Reiki and all that other stuff. But the new place that you go into, you might want to have sage. You might want to have your family kind of saged as well, and some Reiki, just to, in your own mind, protect yourself and build yourself up so that new place you're in has new positive energy from the get-go. You're all coming in there. It's cleansed. You're good. Boom, fresh start.
We actually, he says that we actually have,
And then blow up that building where you're living now so that no one.
So we have a good friend that she's a real estate agent, and what she does is that she's a psychic medium and clairvoyant. And when she goes into a place to view it, before she brings in anybody, she does a clearing and a cleansing to make it fresh when they come in and change whatever's there to start fresh.
And it is sad when you get to that point where, I mean, you know way better than we do. You live there and you've experienced all this stuff, but your family cannot continue to go.
But let's be honest, Terri.
No way.
This isn't the movies, and people don't understand
No.
that not only does it affect your family,
Yes,
it affects your social life.
the
It
relationships,
affects your
everything.
mental, your psychological, your interaction, the trauma of what you're dealing with. It's like being abused constantly.
And you can't get away
finding
from
a
it. It's
peace.
in
No,
your home. That's
you
your
ju-
space.
I mean, just fact that, I know the flight thing. I've done that many times myself as a young girl, jumping in or going off and feeling like, okay, I'm away, so now I'm safe. But to have a voice come from you in the car, I mean, it's breaking you down. It's ripping you guys apart.
Yeah, there was, my daughter actually took a trip out west. She went to Seattle just to get away. And while she was gone, I came up, I was doing laundry and went to put the laundry in the room. And when I walked past her bedroom, I actually saw her Indian style sitting on her floor, staring into her closet. And
Yeah, you got to get out of there.
it's
Yeah, you got to get out of there.
There's just there's so much more. But
You've dealt with it long enough. All of you have. I mean, it's time to get, if you can, again, financially, find a new place where you're all walking in there with such a positive attitude, and it's home, and you don't have to worry about every day, every night, like you said, turning the fan on. And no, that it really, like you said, it can wear you down and affect you mentally, physically, emotionally.
It affects,
everything.
The pets, you ending up in the hospital, the cycle. I mean,
you gotta get out of there.
the physical like abuse, you overcome the physical fades. You might have scars from it, but it fades. But that psychological, that abusive, that what it does to your mind and your head, and what it does to your ability to interact and just like be out in public around in your friends, because nobody understands the hell that you're living in your own home.
Right.
How old is your son? So you have a daughter and a son?
Well, my son doesn't live here anymore. He's he's in the Air Force. He's stationed at Dover Air Force Base.
Okay.
My daughter works for the state of Delaware, so do I. But she's still here because it's just
Yeah. Now again, your son has experienced things, and so has your husband. They've been as bad as what you've gone through, or a different kind of level.
Okay, my son, and I'm in his bedroom. I'm in his bedroom right now.
Right.
His closet doors at one time were broken, and we leaned them in. Okay, so, and one night we heard this crash, and when we all just ran upstairs, and the closet doors were over, like on the floor. So it's not like they could have fallen over. Somebody had to push them.
Right, they were in, and then someone pushed them out. So it wasn't like they slid down and just boom.
No, they were like this, and they would have had to have gone
Yeah.
like that. So, and then that same night later, my daughter had a dream that there was a girl with dark hair living in the closet.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just,
Terry, would you, and I'm going to say this from a place because I actually went for counseling myself. Would you think about, because what you've experienced and gone through,
Her daughter as well.
that's what I'm saying. And you got to find the right one. I'm not saying this lightly because I do understand that this is something a little bit different, but it is trauma, and it's very serious trauma. And I wish people would understand that what you're suffering and what your family's going through, that it's not just a simple of just move and everything goes away. It stays with you. It's a part of the core of what you deal with and how you interact now with everything around you, with that hesitation and that fear and being afraid all the time. It wears you out and it just wears you down. You do need some kind of therapy. You need some kind of, I went for it, and it was the best thing that I ever did.
Okay.
The best thing. And I got to talk openly about things that I haven't even spoken publicly about, that I went through with the stuff that I did growing up. So I would 100%, when you guys get your settled into, please don't just leave it there, because I see it's all over your face. Like it's almost like I'm seeing,
Yeah.
I'm feeling you
Yeah.
and what I went
think
through.
we
And
all
it's
are.
just like, it hurts to see. Just don't do like I did and wait so long. I waited so many years after the fact, and it was the best thing that I could have done for myself.
How far are you along in the process of
Getting out.
getting out of there?
um,
If you don't mind me asking, I don't want to get
no,
too personal.
we're days away from our appraisal.
Good.
What we
Good.
have to do is, this is so weird. We've had so much happen, but both of our heat pumps, believe it or not, just
Oh my God.
went out at the
sabotage.
same time.
Oh my
It's
God.
the sabotage.
Yeah, that's not
It's
good.
100% the energy of
That's
sabotage.
not good.
So it's
Oof.
so we're in a refi right now to replace the heat pumps, but we're getting everything out of here, and we're
Good.
just doing what we can to get things going. And we have an appraisal coming up. We know what it's going to appraise for, and we're just looking for someplace else.
Well, at least the solution is in front of you, and you're not going to have to deal with this for hopefully too much longer at all. I mean, I do think better days are ahead. I think the new place will give all of you just relief and light finally.
Well, I don't know, but somebody posted on here that everybody that's watching, we all need to say a prayer for you
Of
and
course,
like put positive
of
energy
course,
towards it,
definitely,
and like just
definitely.
try to help you guys get a more, the power of the combined, together supporting each other. It's a wonderful
I
thing.
mean, if you were going to be there, I would do everything in my power to try to get John Zaffis to see. I mean, even if we could contribute to his travel and getting him their hotel, we would help with that. I mean,
No,
no, honestly, we would. I mean,
I appreciate that.
I mean, he has dealt with this and much worse.
He's
than
dealt
this,
with
so
some really.
that would be the first person I would say, hey, everybody in this group chip in and let's get him out there and let's put him up. No, I'm just saying, if you were staying there and you didn't have a plan to move out, we would definitely help you with everything that we could.
I appreciate that.
I mean, we're a family here, and we've dealt with people who've dealt what you're dealing with. Chris dealt with what you're dealing with, and if we could help in any way, we would definitely do that.
Listen, I was suicidal because of it. So I feel you. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to contain myself here because I am just like I'm.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I feel bad even continuing this conversation because I could see
You're very distraught.
and so I mean, if you want to end this now, I'm not going to continue. I mean, I can't thank you enough for sharing. I mean, I don't want to put you through any more than God.
But I do have to say, Terry, the more you talk about it, the more you put it out there, the more you're taking power back.
Yeah.
But Chris,
I do. You take that power and you just and again.
Yeah, I lost my dog, and And I told the tattoo artist, I said, I want to cover up this scar because I need to get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to somehow get rid of it and just,
The scar.
yeah, because, yeah, I slipped my arm laterally.
Yeah.
And this was because of all of this?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I've been where you are. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
Terry.
You
Terry,
need to,
but
you need to get out of there.
does the scar, is the scar affect you just as much, the psychological
Of
of it?
course.
I just don't like to see it
Right.
because I feel like
Remind you?
I don't want it to feel like it's, I don't want to look at it. I don't want it to feel like it got the best of me. I just don't want to, I don't want to
You don't want to be its victim. I'm with you on that.
But you're doing everything in your power to make your life better and your family, and it will get better. You're going to put this behind you, and you're going to put that house in your rearview mirror, and you're going to look back at that and go, whew. It's like watching a house fire from your rearview mirror. You're going to go, hey, we're driving someplace better, healthier, where we'll all be happy, and that'll just be, behind us. So you're doing everything you need to do, and life will get better for you very soon. I believe that. And
You got a community behind you right here.
yeah, we're all here for you. And again, anything we could do. I mean, like I said, if you were staying there, I would do everything in my power to talk to John and get him there. But I think you're doing exactly the right thing for you and your family.
Even if she's leaving, and again, it's going to take some time. I know that it's not going to happen. The therapy, but would you want John to try to orchestrate where maybe John can come in and help you?
I don't know, Chris. I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just too fresh. Everything.
You're doing the right thing. Everything you're doing, you just need to, again, put that place in your rearview mirror and yeah, get some help to deal with everything that you're dealing with. But I think the change of scenery will definitely change your perspective so much to where the feel good, the anxiety, the depression, just waking up in a house where you're not thinking of that just will be like, every day, waking up in the morning, and you're going to find that build and build and build until you're, doing so much better.
But you know what you have, Terry? Your family that's going through it with you. You're not alone. The community right here. We're here. You can reach out. I bet there's anybody on here, and I'll say it.
Sure.
If you need to pick up the phone and talk to one of us,
we'll give you our numbers anytime you want to call. Feel free to call us.
It's funny that when you mention, the medical community doesn't take you seriously. They don't.
Of course not.
Even when I went to the hospital that night, and the doctor just didn't take anything seriously, and my daughter said, you need to listen to her because I've seen everything she's seen. And
they're there for one purpose, and that's just to put you physically back together. All of the rest doesn't matter to them, and they're
triage.
They're just on to the next. And like, this is what I'm saying, serious therapy. You guys can go together as a family, as a unit, however, and start to build back the strength. Maybe have a core group of people that you trust that you guys can share and talk like on here, and just start that healing. Because the more you talk about it, the more you take away, because then you're not afraid to talk about it. And then you take the power back. It doesn't have a hold over you.
And we're going to mark this day on the calendar. And a year from now, you're going to come back on here, and it's going to be a totally different person with a better life, much happier. I'm telling you, I know it. I feel it with everything in me. I do.
I hope so, John.
I believe it. You got to believe it. I believe it.
We do have Dominic on here who is, I got to talk to her. She's a very compassionate, sweet person that said that she'd be more than happy to do a session with you.
Awesome.
Well, we are. If you ever need to talk, I mean, Chris is a better listener than I am. So
And I understand.
I understand that people want to talk to her more, but
That's,
I am the paranormal savior. I mean,
I
that counts.
appreciate.
That counts
I
for
love you
something.
guys. I
I
appreciate
have the
you
mug
both.
and everything to prove it if you want to see it.
but seriously, Terry, I've been where you are, and it is when you're on the bottom and you're looking out.
Of course.
I'm just going to remind you that no matter how dark and how overwhelming it seems, there's still light there.
Oh yeah.
The darkness is made of light. And if you could just find that little, let us be that pinprick of light that just keeps you strong enough until you get out of there and things can change.
And read the comments when we're done here. Everybody here is saying
Okay.
nothing but positive things and praying for you and wishing you nothing but the best. And we're here for you, honestly. If you ever just need to unload and talk until you get out of there, we're here.
I appreciate that.
And
if
thank
I
you
don't-
so much. I can't thank you enough for
If
sharing.
I
I
don't,
mean,
if I don't talk to you before, I look forward to seeing you guys in November.
Same here. We'll make sure that she knows that there's no bench.
and
there, so she
please
won't
don't
do it
steal
again.
anything this time. Whatever, 'cause no matter what you said here, we're gonna frisk you regardless. I don't care how nice you appear.
I don't know. She might want the table set
I
in
mean,
when she sees what they are this
She's
year.
walking out with heads and everything else.
Oh my God.
All right,
Okay.
Terry.
We're
Take
not
care of
even
yourself.
we're not even, there's things we're just gonna leave alone.
You're on the watch list, just so you know.
You're awesome. I love you guys.
All
Thank
right,
you
Terry.
so
Love you,
much.
Take
Terry.
care.
Take care.
You
Let us
too.
know how
Thank
things are
you.
going.
Thank you for
Okay.
being brave.
Good night.
Good
Right.
night, Terry.
And that's what we mean about community. You guys are there for her. You know, we're all going to be there for her. And we're all praying for her and pulling for her. And this is not just a live stream that we're doing for the sake of doing it. We mean what we say, all of us. I see your guys' comments as well. We're pulling for Terri and her family with everything in us. And I mean it. I mean, if there's anything we could do, and I meant it. I mean, to getting John there and pulling money together, hey, if she was living there and staying there, then we would do that together. All of us would do that together
Her
because
pain
that
is
woman
palpable.
deserves.
It's
Her and her family deserve so much more, and it's horrible what they're going through. Horrible, but there are points, and John Zaff has touched on this, and I'm not going to belabor this point. There is a point where you just have to get out. I mean, if financially, I know some people financially can't do it because they're stuck into a mortgage, a second mortgage, or whatever. But if you can, and that's going on, there are points like John Zaff has said about Deanna Simpson. You've got to get out of there. You just for you and your family and your sanity and emotional well-being. Get out of there. And I think she will, and I know she will. I know that family. Like I said, a year from now, we're going to have her back on here, or 6 months, whatever.
Well, we're going to see her in November.
And I'm telling you,
and
November,
I'm going to talk to her in the meantime, too.
Right. And I do. I believe with everything in me, things are going to get better. I do.
Yeah.
As soon as they get out of there, I do. I believe that.
It starts with, even when you can't escape what you're in the midst of, it does start with talking about it, facing it.
You have to.
That fear.
And support.
And yes.
Support.
And knowing that you do have that support behind you. I mean, I had my parents. When I finally went to them and I broke down and I thought I was mentally ill and that's the only reason why, commit me. This doesn't make any sense. This isn't normal. And having their support was just the beginning of that, and it takes time, but it was the beginning of that building block that helped me to become stronger and stronger and stronger to face and take back my power. And that's what we have to be mindful of. We all have power. And we all can help feed each other and help each other to stay powerful and strong to deal with what we have to deal with.
But again, that's what we mean by community. This isn't just.
You guys are great. So
this
the
isn't
support.
just quote unquote paranormal ghost hunting and stuff. We do more than that. We try to help people any way we can, and within a community of like-minded people, caring people. Hopefully, things get better. Tomorrow night. We're not going to continue anymore. That was
brutal.
Tomorrow night, Steve Gonzalez from Ghost Hunters will be here on a more positive note, I guess. Steve, it's finally, I was alluding to Steve coming, or somebody coming on who you guys would all know, a guest. And of course, everybody knows Ghost Hunters. We've had Jason on, we've had Sherry on. Now Steve is going to be on. So tomorrow night, make sure you guys are here at 8 p.m. Any questions, we'll be monitoring through the live stream. So anything you want to ask him that we don't, anything that we don't bring up, you guys, like I said, we'll ask any questions you guys have. So we'll see you all tomorrow night at 8 p.m. back here again. And thanks for joining us. And thanks for being so supportive. You guys were great. And I'm sure she's going to go back and read all that and feel so much better because one of us, that's who she is. One of us.
She is one of us.
We are us. We are all people.
Terry and her daughter, like I said, met them at the VIP party, and they're just really great people, wonderful people. And this is what I mean when I say at the end, when I'm saying goodnight and I'm telling you guys, to be safe and to stay healthy. And it's just not physical healthy, it's mental healthy, and it's be kind. This is what kindness gets. This is what helps people out of the darkness and into the light. Kindness is beyond it. It's priceless. It's I can't even begin to tell you. What it happens when somebody cuts you off in traffic, or somebody just gives you cuts in line in front of you, or shoots you the bird, and just not nice, and what it does to your psyche and does to you for the day, makes you angry. But yet when someone smiles, says hi, what can I do for you, holds the door open for you, it changes everything. And you guys doing what you did tonight, it's going to help Terri, and it's going to help her family. So thank you.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
She got up the last word. Do you notice that?